Welcome back to another episode of the Natty Teacher. I am, of course, your host. Who else but the Natty Teacher? And today, we got a pull session for you. Our second pull session of the week. It's an exciting one. It's a fun one. And I am ready to rock and roll and rock with this bad boy. No doubt. No doubt. So what do we got on the docket today? Well, it's a very simple pull session, guys. Again, there's really no reason to ever overcomplicate any of your training. The basics work, so stick to them. Again, we don't need to do anything super crazy, but I feel like today's workout is the epitome of simple things, done effectively and efficiently, and with the right intensity, absolutely will help, promote that progress and muscle growth and all that kind of fun jazz. So what do we got? Well, to start us out, of course, we got some mobility work. You can get the lats and the back firing a little bit. I have kind of a stuck lat a little bit on this left side. It happens from time to time. I've had kind of like a little bit of a constant Charlie horse for just this past week or so up through like my neck and back. Not bad, but just to where it's like tight, you know what I mean? It's definitely loosened up more. Like it was really tight. So it definitely has, again, loosened up, but it is still pretty dang tight overall. So I feel like that's kind of contributed to this left side of my back being stuck. I don't know if you guys have ever had that before. It's a very interesting thing. Like when you do like a lat spread or like a front lat or what have you, or like a front double bi, like your lat is literally like, you're practicing some posing and it's literally like just not flaring as much. It's not that the muscle's not there. Most likely that muscle is like cramping or tight or what have you, and it just needs to be essentially unlocked, for lack of better terms. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So I gotta find a way to get that unlocked. Usually it's just kind of giving it time to loosen up and goes from there, but there's some mobility stuff you can do there. Anyways, I'm ranting on here. The actual session itself, what do we got? Well, we got some good old school lat pull downs after some mobility work. Following lat pull downs, we have a chest supported row, but this is with more of a horizontal grip. So it'll be the tops of the hands facing the ceiling. So like this, that kind of grip. Sorry, I'm not trying to threaten or anything, getting the fist up in there, but so that kind of grip, and then we will move on to a chest-supported dumbbell row where we're going to have the hands in a more neutral spot, so kind of not tucking the elbows in, but keeping them a little bit more neutral, okay? Because that first exercise where the hands are, what is that? That's pronated, where the hands are pointing down. That is very much so a lot of upper back and traps, the way I have that set up. And then the chest-supported incline dumbbell row is definitely more of like a, kind of a mid-back, and a little bit of lats, of course, but more of like a mid-back kind of exercise for that. So still mid-back, traps, all that kind of fun jazz. Just phenomenal rowing movements. And then after that, we just have a single arm cable row. So it's essentially a pull down, row. And that's rowing is what's going to help you actually add. I feel like, people have this misconception. They think rowing is just for thickness. Rowing absolutely is for width as well. So it's going to help you add a lot of width to your back and thickness. Again, I've kind of switched from doing a lot of pull down variations over the years to, little hiccup burp there. I've switched from doing a lot of pull down variations over the years to doing minimal pull downs and a lot of rowing. Okay, especially like chest supported stuff where you have to like keep your chest glued to the pad and really just pulling and squeezing with the back. I feel like that has helped me add so much detail and density to my back, over the past few years for sure, and even years ago when I first started training. But regardless, definitely the majority of your back workouts should be rowing. After that single arm cable row, that will be it with regards to back training. After that, we will move on to our rear delts, which is, I hit rear delts, really only about 6 working sets of direct rear delt work per week. So we will do some machine rear delt flies, like the rear delt pec deck. And then after that is biceps. So we have some dual armed dumbbell hammer curls. Okay, so meaning we're just using both arms at the same time instead of alternating. And then we will have a cable curl variation. So then that's it. Now, I'm going to see timing-wise with regards to how I'm going to approach abs. Abs is either going to be trained. I've already trained 1 day of direct weighted ab exercises earlier this week. I'd like to train weighted abs twice a week right now in the off season. So I already did, some direct weighted abdominal work earlier in the week. So I'm going to kind of see what time we're looking at today at the gym. I have a feeling, just purely because I'm not like late on my start here, but it's a little bit later than I would like. I have a feeling I'm going to be training my second day of abs tomorrow. That is my thought so far. So after legs. So, hey man, other than that, that's really all I got. Little couple mini rants in there, and hopefully that session breakdown was enough for you. So it'll be essentially more of a, lat movement, and then, mid and upper back movements in the middle, and then end with, again, more of a lat biased movement for the back. So it's a very well-rounded session for the back. Getting some rear delt and bicep work in there, of course, busting that out and going from there. So top set of some good old school lat pull downs with a not wide grip, but slightly wider than I was using, just because I want to have my hands angled in a slightly different position. I feel like that's much more comfortable for me and what I'm trying to do. Kind of trying to actually bias more of the lower lats a little bit with how I'm trying to do it. So top set of the lat pull downs coming at you right about now. All right, so first up, we got a good old school lat pull down. I love this one, man. Arms a little farther than shoulder width apart, really trying to drive that bar through the chest and target more of the lower lats with this particular exercise, the way that the hands are placed. Bring that bar all the way down, guys. I usually like to bring it at least to the upper or maybe even midpoint of my chest and touch your chest, okay? Again, you don't have to logically. There are a lot of people who won't touch the chest. I've just found for me, when I'm really trying to take my ego out and get stronger properly, I bring that bad boy all the way down to the chest. So again, 2 working sets here. Then we moved on to some chest supported rows with more of, I like to call it, the bicycle grip here. So a pretty wide grip. Again, you can kind of see I have the seat elevated up to where I'm driving those elbows through kind of the mid upper back, and that is exactly where I feel this particular exercise light up. I love this variation. So we're drawing those elbows back at least parallel to the side of the body. You don't have to go way behind that. You're stronger than you think on a movement like this. You don't have to go way back, but at least get it to the side of the body. You don't want to be too short of that. So again, 2 working sets here. Everything you'll see today, by the way, at least for these main back exercises, is within that 8 to 12 rep range. So then we have a chest supported incline dumbbell row. I've been throwing this one in as of late, and I absolutely love it. No doubt, man. It's awesome. 2 working sets here. Pick a weight that you're comfortable with. Again, we're rocking in that 8 to 12 rep range, and we are just rowing that weight back. That's essentially it. It is a phenomenal mid-upper back builder. Again, there are ways to absolutely target the lats with this kind of movement. If you were to turn those hands in more like with a hammer grip and actually row the weight back a little bit more towards like the, hips and glutes, you can definitely hit more of the lats that way. But for me, I want more mid-upper back, so phenomenal stuff for that. Then we have a chest, well, not really chest supported, I guess more of an arm supported, single arm cable row here. We have it lined up to where I have the handle for the cable really just above like knee height, and we are just pulling it straight back, guys. You really can't get any simpler than that. Just a single arm row. I do it seated, nice support there. Feels really good. Again, 2 working sets of this particular exercise as well. Nothing to it, man. It is great. I love this exercise. I love this movement, this variation. Feels really good. Just drawing that elbow back, getting a good squeeze, going from there. Then we move on to some rear delt flies. You guys know the drill, man. Bring that weight back, get a good squeeze. You don't have to do 3 sets of 30. I mean, if you really want to, you absolutely can. But for me, I have found that this particular exercise, when I'm working still in those heavier rep ranges of 8 to 12 or what have you, I connect with it really well and can feel the rear delts, pumped to the gills for sure. But don't ego it. This is one that I think requires that extra attention, keeping those arms not completely locked out straight, but pretty dang straight, and getting a good full range of motion without drawing the arms in behind the back. You're going to get a little bit of traps here, but that's okay. 3 working sets here. Then we have some bilateral dumbbell hammer curls here. So bilateral meaning we are curling both dumbbells at the same time rather than alternating them. I've been running this one for a little while. We do myo rep match sets here. So I'll do like a top set here using the 45-pound dumbbells. And then whatever I hit with this particular weight, reps-wise, whether it's 8, 10, 12, whatever, I will then match that for 2 more sets. So meaning like I'll try to, curl as many as I can. And then, kind of just keep going from there. So like, again, I think here was like 10 or 11 or something like that. I'm not really counting as I'm doing the voiceover here. Maybe 12. I don't know. I know last week, this was a couple weeks ago. But I know last week, I believe I was at like 11 or 12. So trying to keep the form as strict as possible here, bringing those dumbbells up slightly towards each other, getting a good range of motion, getting a good squeeze at the top, and going from there. 3 working sets, again, 2 of them being myo rep match sets. Then we got some good old single arm cable rows here, all right? Really locking that elbow to the side of the body. I kind of like to bring the elbow slightly behind the side of the body as well. So it's almost kind of like a drag curl, for lack of better terms, if you're familiar with that. Just curling the weight up, guys. It's simple. I love cables for this one. You can absolutely do this with dumbbells, where you just stand there and curl a dumbbell without twisting it or anything. It's phenomenal. I think people sometimes get too caught in like the twisting things because you can absolutely lift more weight doing that. But regardless, this felt really, really good. I've been running this one again for a little while here and still keeping it heavy, guys. 8 to 10, 8 to 12 reps at the most for these bad boys. And going from there. So this will conclude the workout, I believe. At this point, I think I did some abs this day as well. It's been a couple weeks. But regardless, that's about it. Catch you in the outro.
Pull B in the books. Phenomenal session, man. Absolutely everything and more that you'd want from a session. Great stuff. Back is still pumped to the gills, even though I finished the back portion of my training probably about 45 minutes ago, something like that, 30, 45 minutes ago. It's phenomenal stuff, man. That was awesome. So I feel like I've really got my split ironed down pat, and it's a fun workout. It's just a fun workout, and I feel like I've really got everything just locked in for these next quite a few months as we push up for the next 6 months. And then we come up on our next complete week off, 6 months from now. Obviously, I have deloads in between, roughly, every 5 to 7 weeks or so. We'll throw a deload in depending on how the body's feeling. But yeah, that was great, man. That was awesome. Just had my post-workout meal as well, so got that done, got that in. So puts me at 3 meals for the day. 3 meals for the day so far, so not bad because it's just before 1:30, so that's not too bad. That's actually about perfect timing, to be fair. And yeah, man, it's snowing. It's snowing here in Michigan. I'll tell you what, it is apparently supposed to snow pretty good. I think we're supposed to get a couple inches of snow today. It has been. It was funny. It like warmed up around Christmas time or so, or like kind of a little bit before Christmas. It got like really weirdly warm. Like it was like in like the 40s and 50s some days, I'm pretty sure. It was like warm for that time of the year for us. And then now it has just been like freezing since Christmas. It has, just been cold and snowy and icy and all of that fun jazz that comes along with winter in Michigan for sure. So, or winters in Michigan, I should say, excuse me. But yeah, y'all don't care about that. You care about the session. It was awesome. Yeah. Phenomenal stuff, man. Like I said, start to finish, it's exactly everything and more I'd want out of a session. I know there's a few exercises that I did today that I feel like certain communities of people would be like, oh, well, that's not optimal or that's not the best. And again, absolutely nothing wrong with your judgment and questions and thoughts, but sometimes what you think might be the most optimal way to do it, maybe for me it's not. You know what I mean? And maybe for somebody else it's not. Maybe for you it is, but for me it's not. Doing exercises with, certain ranges of motion and certain grips and certain bars and, all that kind of fun jazz, you got to mix it up. And, you don't really got to mix it up. You got to find what works for you. Mix it up until you find what works for you and then just keep it. I think people change exercises too much. And I've noticed like over Christmas break where I was kind of hitting a couple different gyms on different days and all that kind of stuff. Like I had mixed up a few exercises here and there in some of my sessions. I'm glad to have like ironed that out now. So for these next quite a few months, I'm going to be running the exact same movements over and over and over again, and perfecting them more and more and more as time goes on. So It was just an awesome session, man. It was fun. It was fun. Like that was just a fun session, good hard session today, and you just leave the gym feeling good with that one. So sets me up good. Already did my core and cardio work, fasted this morning, so don't have to do anything with that. I have legs tomorrow, my second leg day of the week and final workout of this training week. And then I'll have a rest day, and then we'll be back at it for our next push session. So I really dig the concept of having 4 days in between every body part now. So it's again push, pull, legs, rest, push, pull, legs, rest. In the past, I was literally running Sunday through Friday, push, pull, legs, and again, nothing wrong with that until you can't recover from it. So there's nothing wrong with it until there's something wrong with it. You know what I mean? And for a while, it wasn't broke, so I didn't need to fix it. Now I'm getting to the point in my off season where my strength to continue to like push that, especially while keeping technique. I really needed to be intelligent about how I was training. Be very, very intelligent about how I was training, and that it basically led me to the conclusion that one rest day a week, it was not enough. So even 2 arguably is probably not enough for how intensely I'm trying to train right now. But yeah, man. Yeah, it was, like I said, just a fun session. So I'm gonna head home now, chill for a little bit. I know my wife and I got to go do our weekly round of grocery shopping. We usually split that between Aldi and then get anything we can't get at Aldi at Kroger. That's like our 2. We do like a big circle from our house because they're only a few minutes away from our house, both those stores. So that's kind of nice. So we'll head out from there after my daughter takes her afternoon nap and go get our stuff. Got a little bit of food I got to prep tonight. That's about it. It's the weekend. And nice thing is for me too, my students have final exams next week. So the cool thing is I have basically Monday through Wednesday are normal days, and then Thursday and Friday are both half days. So we're out of there at 11, and then that following Monday is Martin Luther King Day. So we have that day off. So I have Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. So that'll be really, really cool, and just be able to have a chill day. And the nice thing on top of that is that Monday that I do have off is a rest day for me. So that'll be really cool because I'll be able to get in there with my my wife has that day off as well, and so I'll be able to be home with them and hang out and just chill with my family. So that'll be really cool to be able to have that time for sure. So very much so looking forward to that. Absolutely. But other than that, before I just continue to rant about random things in my life or whatever, I'm going to cut it there. So if you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Really means a lot to me and to the growth of the channel for sure. This continued path to I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, but that's the exciting part, is I don't know how far this can go. I'm really not putting a limit on it. My wife and I have talked recently with the turn of the new year, and she's big into the concept, and she's leading me more to be in the concept of like, you have to picture what you want and pretend you're already there, or already think that you're there. You know what I mean? And then in the meantime, work towards that until that actually comes to fruition, that whole concept of manifestation. And so I've really been trying to do that, and I'm trying to make this channel, something to where I could, make a livelihood out of it. I don't know, it'd be awesome. It'd be cool. It'd be really, really cool. So I'm excited for the continued growth of it for sure. I'm going to continue to pump out, that multiple times per week content for you guys. Absolutely. That's just, I've got myself into a good rhythm with that as of late. So I'm going to keep on doing that. And, again, if you had any comments, questions, or feedback, drop them in the comments section below. If you have not already, if you want, please feel free to share this video, drop it a like. And other than that, man, hey, God bless. And from the whole Natty family and myself, the Natty teacher, this episode of Road to Natty Pro is out. I'll catch you on the next one.